Roy Reeve now is the second quickest car we've seen. 1:11.73, but being regularity, it doesn't actually matter the lap time. It's more about being able to maintain the lap time that you set yourself. And this, bearing in mind, because this is only practice for the big event later on over the course of the weekend. Dave Carey goes across the line. Right with him is the 48 car of Roy Reeve. Kerry Park goes by in his car, then the 80 machine, also a 48.215. Next one across the line is the 73 machine of Adrian Spies from Queensland. Trevor Grace will be next, and right with him is the 33 machine of Steve Jeffs. So still showing 4 minutes left in the session. It is only practice. Racing, qualifying and racing, obviously qualifying this afternoon, racing tomorrow. And of course again on Sunday. These rate cars running in, some of them running in different trim. Some are running as per they did in the day with the 138 grey motor, etc. Other cars running different engine gearbox configuration. 3 minutes left in the session now. It's like Michael Simpson looking to go back out. Being given the green light to go, so Michael rejoins the track with 3 minutes left, 2 minutes 50 left in the session. A couple of laps out of it in that time. Next session of cars starting to line up below me now. That will also be regularity, sports and racing cars and invited. That'll be brought to us by Kingston Auto Reports. Of course, this particular one on track at the moment, the early model Holdens, the Humpies, being brought to us by our very, very good friends at Shannon's. Great supporters of all forms of motorsport. And we love that they're on board with us this weekend. Peter Corrigan from Victoria goes by in his car. These cars just look immaculate. They really do. Just a total credit to the owners. Just under 2 minutes left now in the session. And for those trying to tune into the FM, we are making efforts now to get that organised for you. Just bear with us. A few early teething problems. We'll get it sorted. That I do promise you. Practice session number 4 on track now. Regularity for sports and racing cars, and invited, brought to us by Kingston Auto Repairs. And folks, some very, very special cars out there. The orange Porsche coming towards me now to cross the start-finish line with Donahue written on the door. It's a Porsche RSR IROC out of the United States. One Daytona in the IROC Championship back in the day, a Penske machine. Price tag for that one, a lazy $4 million, if you don't mind. And it's Ben Henson at the wheel of that one, heading down through the S's and onto the hill. So very, very special car in its own right. And that's the orange Porsche. Just climbing the hill, it'll go over the top of the JMC Skyline as you speak, turn 5, and head down the hill. And Bayer goes by, a couple of Cobra replicas out there, Formula Vs, all sorts of odds and sods out there as we speak. But the star of the show in this one, at this point in time anyway, is the Donahue Porsche RSR of Ben Henson. Of course, Dutton's Garage, big supporters of this event, and put 5 or 6 cars down for the weekend, and we thank them for doing that. They didn't have to do it, they did, they chose to do it, and George and Ben have gone to great efforts to make sure we have some very, very special cars. And if you like Porsches and the noise they make, that is pretty sensational. A couple of guests in the tower, one of them does love the odd Porsche or two. He keeps looking at that car and wipe your chin at him. It's dribbling. So again, a 10-minute session for the sports and racing cars. Car number 15 goes by, Ron Webb, the Piranha Suzuki. So 1100cc racing car. Surprise you how quick it is. Harmon Bayer in his Cobra. Doug Shepherd in his, then the Formula V, followed by car number 1, Nigel Tate from Victoria, the Matic SR4. It's a 5-litre engine in that big blue sports car. It would appear that some of these cars not running transponders. We're not picking up lap times on them, so can't give you much information on that at this stage. Jeremy Dyer goes by in his Hadley Clubman. That's a little red and silver car. Just going under the bridge and up through turn 1. He'll make his way up to turn 2, which is the top of the S's. He turns in there now. Rolls out of there and down through turn 3. It'll bring him past the signs there to turn 4 at the bottom of the hill. More difficult corner than it looks. Up the hill, quite steep, but not a particularly long climb. To turn 5 at the top of the hill, JMC Skyline. Blind corner, basically you're turning in before you can actually see the apex of the corner. Then down the hill, down towards turn 6, Calvin's Corner. Named after Calvin Morrisby, the owner of the land, way, way, way back in the early 50s. Through there, which is an off-camber corner as well, onto the back straight, over the rise. There's quite a distinct rise. You go over that and then head down past the pit access road into the braking area for turn number 7. And you'll finish the lap, come out of there, tip it in again into turn number 8, which brings you onto the front straight to complete the lap of Baskerville Raceway with a little Hadley Clubman. And Bayer in that Cobra, a regular at this event, done quite a lot of club day type events in that car, and the Longford Revival, that type of thing, loves his Cobra replicas, and always puts in a spirited performance behind the wheel of the silver number 9 machine. It's hard to believe the price tag on that orange Porsche though. Car number 1 goes by. Nigel Tate from Victoria. The Matic SR4 from a time when open top sports cars were very, very popular. We'll see 2 or 3 of them over the course of the weekend. And they were very, very popular back in the day. Very quick too, I've got to say. We've had a number of them here in Tasmania over the years that were very, very fast. And we will see a very fast one come out a little bit later on. Graham Soden just went by. Car number 58, the CFB Meerkat. A silver machine. That's just heading up towards down towards turn 3. In through there he goes. It's a 5-litre engine in that, 5.3. Racing as it was in the 1950s. Peter Richards out there in his MG TF Special. Still plenty of practice sessions to come. This is practice session number 4. We do have 12 practice sessions, then a display of some very, very special race cars before we go to the 12 qualifying sessions, which will be held during the course of the afternoon. Doug Shepherd goes by, and Will Twining, son of Craig Twining, driving the Formula V. Will's probably only 14 or 15 years of age, just a youngster, got the day off school. Been given the uncle's Formula V. Grandson of Arthur Twining, who was prolific in the world of cams and stewarding, etc. back in the day. We lost Arthur some years ago now in a tragic road accident, but his name lives on with his grandson now doing the business in the Formula V. His dad's been doing a bit of racing in the Hyundais as well locally, so the Twining family still very much entrenched in the world of motorsport here in Tasmania. We love that. It's good to have them. Still showing a minute 20 in the session. So young Will now coming into the pits. His session is complete. And the little white number 3 Formula V. Of course, Formula V, the longest running, continually running class in Australian motorsport. Started right here in Tasmania back in 1965. As we see the cars for practice session number 5 starting to gather below us. Checkered flag now comes out to end the session for the sports racing and invited cars for their regularity, brought to us by Kingston Auto Repairs. Practice session number 5 will be the Baskerville Classic Sprints, brought to us by the ACL Bearing Company. The drivers just acknowledging the checkered flag from our hard-working crew And again, once again, a big thank you to all the officials. Of course, we'll have motorbikes later on too, so looking forward to that. Always enjoy watching the bikes go around here. Marvel at how they do that. Still got competitors arriving as well. I can see Nick Riddler just over there with his fabulous Valiant. Don't see the Valiant as often as we'd like to these days, but it's great when Nick brings it out. Ran it consistently for a number of years, and now only brings it out for special occasions, but it's great to see it back out as we see Ben Henson bringing in that Donahue Porsche. As I said, price tag, just a lazy $4 million. So practice session number 4 is now complete for the sports racing and invited cars, courtesy of Kingston Auto Repairs. Practice session number 5 in readiness, the Baskerville Classic Sprints, brought to us by ACL Bearing Company. 10 minutes will be the time. Cars coming out on track, and again, quite an arrangement of different cars going out there as well. I can see, what is it? It's an HG, I think, Monaro, down in front of me here, car number 6. Minis, an HR Holden, an EH, another couple of minis, 3 or 4 minis there as well. There's a Jag up there, Fiat, the EH van of Wayne Lamont, Diamond Valley Speed Shop on the side of it, a Cortina out there, an EH Holden. Quite an arrangement of old cars. As I said before, it'll be 10 minutes. The session. So the Cortina went through. Car number 12 was Matthew White. Number 2, Julian Bingley, EH Holden, son of Grant Bingley, a long-time racer here in Tasmania, and of course races significantly on the Big Island as well at different times. Does a great job and often seen in a Mustang or early model Holden. Any number of different cars. Peter Bergman, car number 9, the Cortina, coming in and going to the back of the pits, which is not good this early in the event. Car 111, Debbie Bailey, the little Mini Cooper. Next one through is car number 11, Rodney Gelston in his EH Holden, followed by the HR Holden. Simon Buddle in the Mini coming into the pits. Car number 88 goes through. Philip Blake, the Theatre Bath OT. Support there for Philip from South East Car Care. 1600cc engine in that one. Wayne Lamont. goes by in the EH Holden panel van. Next through is 96, Gary Wilson, in his 1972 Mini Clubman. Wayne Double, the 1962 Mark II Jaguar, sounding a little bit rough. Of course, the Bruno Carossi tribute car. Bruno, very famous in Tasmanian motorsport in a replica of that car, or the original. This is the replica of his car, if you know what I mean. From way back in the day, Bruno, a very hard charger in his day as well. Chris Fitzgerald in his Mini Cooper S, little black car. Car number 41 goes through, looking pretty sharp too, I've got to say, doing a pretty good job out there. Wayne Lamont just absolutely loves punting that EH van around the track. And car number 6, I spoke about it earlier, Alistair Shoebridge. It's a Monaro GS 1969, as such would make it a HT. Famous at Bathurst for the win in 1969 at the hands of Colin Bond, way back in the day. The mighty Monaro winning Bathurst in 68 and 69. And Julian Bingley now completes another lap in the number 2 EH Holden. Halfway through the session, and Wayne Double just can't clear the throat of the mighty Jaguar. He's battling away with that one at the moment. Just trying to get it cleared and rev cleanly. Car number 49 also doing a very good job out there. William Smith, another one of the fabulous minis. Of course, we'll see the all-mini race tomorrow. Sunday. Always a highlight of this weekend. The Kid Ellis Memorial mini-only event. And it is absolutely sensational to see so many cars here at the Pepsi